Hi guys, welcome to Sri Srinivasa Shorthand Institute. 180 words per minute dictation, 5 minutes duration. Start. I am very happy to have this opportunity of welcoming you all. The present legislature is indeed truly representative of the people elected as it is by the whole adult population of the state, and I feel honored in inaugurating its first session. I am glad to see many familiar faces here as well as a number of new friends. I have derived great personal satisfaction from the fact that it should have been given to me to be associated for a while with the great efforts that have been made by the government, the services, the people, and their representatives in a spirit of mutual cooperation and goodwill to work for the achievement of the common weal. I take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation of their work. The object which we have to place before ourselves is clear. It is the development and all-round integrated progress of the community, the supply of food and other basic necessities to the individual, and the provision of opportunities of intellectual and spiritual development of everyone without any distinction of caste, creed, class, or sex. The key to the character of the future economic and social organizations in the country and its motive power is the ideal of a cooperative commonwealth, which ensures to every individual the fullest opportunity to develop his personality and is the best guarantee for that element of social justice which must inspire all our efforts for the common good. This is an object and an ideal which does not possess mere academic interest for us. It has to be pursued, and the measure in which it is implemented during the next 5 years will show how far the government and the legislature have justified the confidence which the electorate has reposed in them. I shall try now briefly to indicate to you some of the immediate objects which my government has placed before itself to be achieved during the next 5 years. The food problem must continue to claim priority of attention for a long time to come. Of late, it has been aggravated by scarcity conditions which have developed in some of the eastern districts of the state, consequent on successive natural calamities which have visited them in the shape of floods, droughts, and hail. The first concern of my government has been and remains the securing of immediate relief to the distressed. The situation seems to demand to some extent a reorientation of the policy to be followed as regards agriculture and agricultural education. There can be no relaxation of the efforts to propagate a knowledge of scientific methods in cattle breeding, dairy farming, and all other subjects included under agriculture and animal husbandry. But such scientific knowledge has to be brought into relation with the realities of our social and economic life. It has to be remembered that the vast majority of our holdings are small, and the agricultural education that we give should be such as can be helpful to the small farmer. It should be more practical than it has so far been. It should be possible now, after the abolition of the Jamindari system, to devise methods of making our agriculture more economic and efficient. Consolidation of holdings has, for a variety of reasons, not made much headway. We hope it will be possible to achieve better results in this respect hereafter. Along with these, concentrated efforts will now be made on developing methods of cooperative farming suited to out conditions and inducting our peasantry to pool its resources by joining cooperative farms. It is also my government's intention to explore the possibility of diverting as much of the money allocated to agriculture as possible to increase facilities for irrigation, provided a regular supply of water in the seasons which is most needed is available. The Indian peasant can, even with his old methods, make a very considerable addition to his output and help in the solution of the food problem. Although considerable headway has been made in the direction of making the state self-sufficient under the short-term self-sufficiency plan, the solution of this problem still demands that measures of procurement and controlled distribution of food grains should continue. My government has so far refused to raise food prices in spite of the withdrawal of the government of India's subsidy, and has strained every nerve to avoid the taking of any step in that direction. Although prices have been raised substantially in other parts of the country and are generally higher than those prevailing in our own, government has already been put to loss about 1.25 crores of rupees during the opening months of the current financial year in maintaining the existing prices, and the loss will go up 9 crores by the end of the year. This strain is too onerous for our limited resources, and I seriously doubt if it will be possible for our exchequer to bear the burden in spite of the earnest desire of the government not to increase prices. Good progress has been made in the first year of the 5-year plan relating to the state. The major irrigation and power projects which constitute the most important part of the plan have already accounted for an expenditure of about 4 crores of rupees. Progress in the direction of road schemes has been better.